what's the big benefit that you see with direct bookings over using they call them OTAs for people who aren't familiar with it, but OTAs, online travel agencies, which is Airbnb,
Hmm.
Verbo, all those. So what's the advantage with direct bookings over those?
Yeah, and OTA is basically anyone who takes a commission.
Hmm, got it.
Okay, there's listing sites as well, which are a great tool to have in your toolkit if they're driving traffic to your website and not taking a commission. But the OTAs, and they're not, they're not the big bad guys. I use them. I even use them for research for places that I want to stay. I always try to book direct because if anybody saw me booking on Airbnb, I'd probably be called out. Um, but yes, the real reason that I was doing this was because I couldn't stand out on the likes of Airbnb, and that I needed to pay that mortgage. I needed my own guests. What it gave me was first a sense of accomplishment and confidence that I could do it, but also it gave me control over the entire guest's journey. So all of the communication, everything, I could tailor it exactly what I wanted. My cancellation policy, my check-in, my checkout, everything. I could tailor it exactly what I wanted. There was no one there telling me what I had to do or didn't have to do. So I could tailor that. I saved the commissions, and what I do is organic marketing. So yes, there's a bit of investment needed for a website and a property management system. However, I was still making more than I was laying out.
Mm,
So more money in my pocket, more control, and more happy guests because they were dealing with me direct, and we could build that relationship, and they could come back too. It's just nice.
yeah,
It's just a nice feeling. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. No, that's great. Yeah, and I think a lot of people don't realize that Airbnb charges guests around 14% on top of
Mm.
what the 14% of the gross income. So that includes like the cleaning fee, in there, and then the charges the host 3%. So that's 17% on top before taxes are calculated in. And so, I kind of look at that as a marketing fee because Airbnb is marketing the property,
Hmm.
but
Hmm.
that's a huge chunk of change. So, do you, obviously, if you price the property the same direct booking and on the OTAs, then the guest saves that 17%. It's not like you're getting that 17% as additional revenue. Do you have a pricing strategy that like around direct booking versus OTAs, or do you typically is it the same pricing, or how does that work?
I usually put the the price on the OTAs way up.
Okay.
Okay, that's normally what I do. Now, I am not a pricing expert, and the great thing about direct bookings is you can do whatever you want.
Yes.
If you want to sell a night for $500 a night, do it. If you want to do it for $1,500 a night, if there are people out there willing to pay that, go for it. But I always jack up the prices on the OTAs. I put on my booking site what I would like, what that fair price is. Airbnb always adds on top, but the problem with booking.com is that they love to discount. And I swear they have like a breathing discount. Like if you're breathing, we're going to give you a
Yeah.
discount. And you never know what price it is that they're putting out there. So I really try to make those as high as possible so that I am not left, having to pay people to stay in my place. But I try, the idea is that the guests get a better price when they come direct.
Got it.
That's sort of the bottom line. You don't have to give them a further discount. You're just telling them, look, this is going to save you money rather than booking on the OTAs.
Yeah. Yeah. And when it comes to screening guests, I think one of the security blankets a lot of people have with Airbnb is like, I can see the guest's previous positive reviews. They have this $2 million host guarantee, which can be hit or miss whether they actually honor it. And then, you can, you just have like a more of a, you, I guess you feel like you're backed by this big company as opposed to just taking a direct booking and you don't have any information about that guest. So how do you look at that, and how do you make sure that you screen your guests to know that you're getting a quality guest staying?
I'll say this, that I screen all my guests, even the ones that come through the platforms, OTAs. I screen everyone. Um, I hear a lot of the time this is a big obstacle for those wanting to get into direct bookings because they feel so comforted by Airbnb's air cover. However, you have to think about Airbnb and their business model. They have done an amazing job. Their marketing is second to none. You know, we're all walking around talking about our short-term rentals as
Yeah,
Airbnbs. That's what the guests are saying as well. But the guests, it's a guest-centric platform. And I know that there are hosts there that have had issues and that have been able to use air cover. But when you look across the board, the guest is the one that the Airbnb wants to keep. Hosts can be replaced. Guests are the ones because they've done a lot of marketing to get them onto that platform and to book. So, going back to your question, I'll get off my soapbox a bit. Go back to your question about vetting. There's a couple of companies out there that can help with this. One is Safely, and one is Superhog. And I think there's probably more now too. But they help with the vetting. So they take in, I don't have to deal with driver's licenses, passports, all that kind of stuff. They take that for me and they vet them. They go through a rigorous process to make sure that they're not criminals and that their mobile phone is not a burner, these kind of things. And then I get that report saying that they're cleared, they've confirmed, they're fine, and go ahead. But they also can pick up warning signs of things. So it's not a case of looking at reviews, which I know a lot of Airbnb hosts, that's what they do. They look at the reviews and think, oh, should I take this person? Should I not take this person? And I just don't want to get bogged down with that. I'm not chasing reviews or whatnot. I just want good guests that will come and book direct and will hopefully come back. And so in that mindset, using the vetting, they know that I've been vetted. I am who I say I am. And they can see that on my website and my socials and all that kind of stuff. But they also know if I'm using a vetting company that I am a stand-up person, and I hope they are too.
yeah, yeah. It's going to dissuade. I found that it's tools like that dissuade the people who are just looking for the lowest hanging fruit to take advantage of. So if they
Yeah,
see that
yeah,
there's a vetting process, they just move on to the guy who doesn't do that and is looking for the easy scam. So just by having that in place, it prevents a lot, I think. What is the process? Do you just send a link to the guests then once they say they're interested, and then if everything comes back as normal, you move forward with the booking, or how does that work?
I have them book it. So they book it
Okay.
no matter however they book. And then I put in their details into the platform, the vetting platform, their mobile phone number, their cell number, their email address, their name, and then I let the platform take over.
Mm,
They ask for, I believe, now don't totally quote me on this because it's been a while since I've done it myself, but I think they take some sort of government issued ID and they want a selfie, and I don't know what else they take. But then they go away and do their checks and come back. I've never had anyone fail it. I've had flags come up, and then I can look at the information and see what the issue is, and then take it from there. But the thing is, when you're direct, I can cancel that booking if I want.
yeah, that's a good point.
Now you don't want to because people are saving for their vacations. This could be their only annual vacation they take, and they're really looking forward to it. So I don't want to just cancel something willy-nilly. However, if I ever felt like I needed to, I can cancel. I don't have to really say a reason because it's my business and there's no penalty.
Yeah,
There's no big brother looking over my shoulder going, you can't do that.
yeah. That's such a great point you make, because I think hosts, feel like they're prisoners to Airbnb, in a lot
Mm.
of cases. Like, oh, I have to bend over backwards, give a full refund because this person said there was a, piece of dust on the floor because, I'm at the mercy of their review and it'll ruin my business if they leave a bad review. So that's great with direct bookings. You don't really have reviews. Obviously they can talk about you online and that sort of
Yeah.
thing, but
Well,
it's
you still ask for reviews. You still want, Google reviews or Facebook reviews. You still want reviews because it's good social proof
mm-hmm,
that you are who you say you are and you're doing a great job with your accommodation and that. But you're not beholden to them in the same way. They're not used as a retaliative method.
yeah,
If something goes wrong. Um, it's your business. You can sort of direct the narrative, if you will, and you don't have to worry that, okay, I told them they couldn't. I had this I think last month I had someone leave me not the most polite review, and it was all because I wasn't able to give them a late checkout. And, it didn't really bother me because there's nobody looking over my shoulder. There's no one checking, you know. I've just replied to it and I just said, I'm really sorry I wasn't able to give you a late checkout as you wanted,
yeah,
but that's it,
mm-hmm,
and I know that people reading through the reviews will see that because it stands out as being an odd thing against all the other reviews.
right, yeah.
So they're still important, but you're not feeling this pressure that you have to do everything in your power to get that 5 star.
That makes sense. That makes sense. And do you have a booking contract with them that kind of outlines the booking agreement?
Nope. Nope, I have the booking terms and conditions on my
Okay.
website, and that outlines the word is outlines the cancellation policy and all that they are to read. Now, you could have one. You could have a contract that people sign, a booking agreement, and that I know a lot of people do that. I just feel with my vetting and with them reading the T's and C's that is enough.